Today is the 6th of February, so it's been quite a bit of time since I actually filmed a process video, and so I wanted to actually start filming, and this is a picture of my nephew, and I have an idea of what I want to start the sketch to look like. I wanted it to look like that, and then it ended up something like that, and then it completely changed. So I started doing stuff and I completely forgot to, press record. Mostly because it takes me a long time to think about things. Like I have an idea in my head of what it wants to look like. I plan out stuff like you saw in the 2 sketches that I did, and then it just completely changed because it wasn't not motivating me, but I was kind of stuck on the idea. So I made this template for a star, and it's probably wonky and it doesn't not asymmetrically correct or whatever, but I hand drew it and it's still an idea that I want to do. And then I started overthinking the paper, like, oh, it's too precious, or I don't know. If I take too long and start thinking about it, then I overthink it and then it doesn't get done. So I wanted to use this mini letter punch board from We Are Memory Keepers. I got it Tuesday morning a couple of months back. And so with that, that's where it all started. And this picture of my niece's son, my little nephew, his name is Noel. He's super cute. I'm biased. And I've been doing layouts for a while for my nieces, myself, and a best friend of mine. Because bless her heart, she has a lot of on her table and she doesn't usually have time to scrapbook. But so anyway, I found this mini alphabet punch board and I really wanted to use it because I haven't. And so I have an idea of what I want to do, and I started it. I had a couple of ideas of how I wanted it to look, but I still know that I want to use this picture. I might incorporate this photoplay brother tag, and it has like the definition of a brother, a person who is there when you need him, someone who picks you up when you fall, a person who sticks up for you when no one else will. A brother is always a friend. So I want it to say Big Brother in the mini alphabet punchboard letters. I decided that I want to do this star cutout that I did, and I hand stitched, and then I've already put foam tape on the whole piece of it. And then I have an idea, because this layout has transformed quite a bit. I am thinking of doing multiple star cutouts and then backing them with different paper, kind of like an applique and a reverse applique. I don't know if that term is used for paper or not, but that's what I was thinking, and then stitching around these stars to kind of mimic the same idea, and backing these with different paper, so different stars, and then putting the title Big Brother, and also including I've been promoted to, and then the words Big Brother, like this, kind of in a half circle or whole circle type of thing. So that's my idea for this layout. I hope it comes out. I'm going to keep filming, but I'm actually going to film the process, and I just wanted to catch you up to speed with what I did and didn't actually record on video. So I hope you like the rest of this process, and hopefully it comes out, it translates on paper the way I see it in my head. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll just keep going with the rest of the video. Okay, so here I'm removing all the backing from the adhesive foam that I did on the stars. And I wanted it to have a lot of dimension because I also wanted to cut out these stars that I'm drawing out. I did make some sort of template so that I can see with the stars how I wanted the stars to look like on the layout. And I'm using this star stencil. I've had it for the longest time. I didn't even buy it. A friend of mine did at Hobby Lobby years and years ago. And they come in handy. I've used it quite a bit, actually. So here I'm cutting up the stars so that I can do, I did an applique on the red star. So here my thought, or train of thought, was to cut these stars out so that I can do a reverse applique where I cut the star shape out and then I back it with a colored piece of pattern paper. And so, yeah, I start by trying to use this Hey Kid paper pattern stack that had 4 different patterns on it, and I actually don't end up using any of them except for that blue piece, that is. And I don't, let's see here, I end up changing that one on the bottom, and here I'm just trying to figure out what colors to use with the stars, and I ended up choosing more primary colors. I wanted one of them to kind of repeat the red color, especially since that red star was so big. I wanted it somewhere else in the layout, and it just so happened that the white star ended up coinciding to be the right size inside the bigger cutout star. I liked the idea of that black star. I couldn't find any orange pattern paper, and so I kind of did that black and white dotted star with, it has orange splatters that's already printed on the page. Here you can tell that I was kind of freaking out because as I was cutting the paper and moving pattern paper behind the stars back and forth, it caught and it tore my star, so I was pretty upset about that. I couldn't do anything about it afterwards, and so I just kept going with it. Here you see me putting in some dimensional foam behind the stars because I still wanted them to have some sort of depth because I have dimension on the star that's on top. I kind of wanted to give the same kind of effect but going down. And here I am making the holes so that I can do the stitching on these stars, and I was pretty excited and pretty happy once I got the red star stitched. I had more of an idea of what I wanted to do with the rest of the look of the layout. Here I'm trying to kind of match the colors with the pattern paper that I'm going to use for the stars. And so that's because I wanted to bring the color forward onto the page because they're going to be cut out underneath. Does that make any sense? I hope so. So here you see that I have stitched all the stars. I did one in green thread, yellow thread, blue thread, white thread, and the orange for the black and cream colored polka dot. And I really liked the effect that it gave it and the way it turned out because I actually executed the look that was in my head trying to translate it to paper. So I was pretty happy with myself. Here I'm using the scratch piece of paper from Recollections. It's like a girl stack, and it has patterns that I don't think I'm likely to use very much, and I'm backing that with that same polka dot pattern that the orange star has, and I kind of put the paper askew. I did back it with a black piece of paper because I wanted the picture to kind of stand out more, and so I wanted to add a few more layers. And I'm backing this with a piece of Recollections cardstock. It's not anything super expensive or anything. I wanted to give it a bit of texture, so I cut it with the ruler, but I cut it a little too long, so then I just used my fingers to kind of tear it a bit more. And I like the texture that it ended up giving it. So here I'm stacking these layers together, and I knew that I wanted to place the picture on the big star because it's going to have the biggest focus since it is the biggest star. And I just can't believe how many times I changed this layout. I thought the original idea was pretty good, and I probably should have kept with that, but I just kept changing and changing. And when I brought in these letters, because these are the letters that I had intended so that I could use my punch, so that I could use my tools that I buy, it just kept changing because I needed to figure out a structure to somehow include these letters. But I am happy with the end result. Here you can see that I am cutting strips of paper. I ended up cutting that photo, I think it's photo play, oh dear, Family Ties card, the 3x4 card that I had shown at the beginning. I ended up cutting the strips because I didn't want two big squares, especially with the star shapes in mind. I cut it up and it kind of didn't hold the same type of weight as the photo. I was kind of showing you with my fingers on both my hands. I kind of framed the photo on one side and then the journaling strips on the other, and I was thinking to myself that it would help balance the layout, even though with some symmetry, even though the strips weren't in a card anymore. And I ended up liking that look of it because it did help break up that square. Here I am outlining all the letters because I kind of wanted to give them some texture also and help bring out the white. Even though the background page is cream colored, they were still getting lost a little bit. And so I used the tracing technique that Tracy Banks uses when she outlines everything. Hers probably came out, her outlining probably comes out a lot better than mine, but I still like the effect it gave it. I did use this American, I think it's American Crafts. Oh dear. It's those, it's stickers. Yes, it is American Crafts. It's the guides, the perfect placement guides, alphabet line. Oh, I can't see it because it's covering it up by the thickers package. But it's those thickers lining guard packs things. And I did kind of the half circle. So here I'm showing you that I did use some Studio Calico Mistables stars. I did end up putting 2017 with the same thickers, and those were the Twilight color in the blue foam. Here I also outlined the journaling, and these are the rest of the close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave me any questions or comments if you have them down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!